Our last set of videos is going to be dealing with the third and final type of rock, metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock is formed when rock is placed under enough heat and pressure to change it, but not melt it. And that's very important. It's not going to get melted. We're going to apply enough heat and pressure to cause some sort of change to occur. That change can be to the rock structure, basically how it's set up, its texture, the shape, size, and positions of the grains in the rock, and the composition of the rock. What is the rock actually made of? So it's important to note with metamorphic rocks that they're going to be changing in some way. And their name, metamorphic, actually does mean a change in shape. Metamorphic rock is going to be divided into one of two categories. It is either going to be foliated metamorphic rock or non-foliated metamorphic rock. Foliated metamorphic rocks have mineral grains that are aligned into what we call planes or bands. And what this means is that the mineral grains inside of the rock have been lined up. So they're forming kind of bands, lines. Could use the word layers. I hesitate to because that is more related to sedimentary rock. But they do. They have kind of a layering kind of look to them. Whereas non-foliated metamorphic rocks do not have planes or bands. There is no layering in them. Things are just kind of more chaotic. Now, we're going to look at some foliated metamorphic rocks. The first foliated metamorphic rock we're going to look at actually comes from a rock that you've already seen, shale, which is a sedimentary rock. If you were to take a piece of shale and place it underground and let it get squeezed and have a lot of pressure and heat put on it to cause some sort of change to occur, the first thing that it's going to turn into is what is called slate. So as you can see on this diagram here, if we take shale and we add heat and pressure, it will turn it into slate. Now, if you were to take that slate, that new metamorphic rock, slate, and put that underground under more heat and pressure, it would actually turn into a different metamorphic rock called PHYLLITE. If you were to take PHYLLITE and put that underground under even more heat and pressure, it would eventually turn into what is called schist. That's right, schist. See the picture there? PHYLLITE plus even more heat and even more pressure gives you schist. And you can see there's a great example of schist there. It's a big old pile of schist. Now, if you were to take that schist and put that under even more heat and pressure, eventually it'll turn into the metamorphic rock called gneiss. The G is actually silent, so we don't pronounce the G. It's like the word gnome. It's just gneiss. Nice. So look at this diagram here. You can see how shale in the upper left-hand side, a sedimentary rock, when is exposed to more heat, more temperature, and more pressure, it'll eventually turn into slate, and then schist, and then eventually gneiss. And if we add even more heat and pressure, it can turn into what's called migmatite, but we're not going to get into that into too much detail. Just one more thing, a great way to remember two foliated metamorphic rocks, just remember this phrase. Some rocks are nice, others are just a big pile of schist. But what about non-foliated? The first non-foliated or unfoliated metamorphic rock that we're going to look at is called marble. Marble is just made when we take limestone that we saw before and put that under heat and pressure. So limestone plus heat and pressure will give you the metamorphic rock marble. And you can see in that example there are no planes, no banding to it. It is kind of chaotic. Another example of a non-foliated or unfoliated metamorphic rock is quartzite. Quartzite is just made by taking sandstone and putting that under heat and pressure until it turns into a metamorphic rock.